This school only accepted the most rebellious troublemakers, but there was something unsettling about it. Within 3 days of arriving, even the wildest kids would transform into model students, obedient, polite, almost unnaturally perfect. After getting expelled for the 8th time, my parents had finally had enough and decided this place was my last chance. The principal gave us the grand tour, and my parents beamed at the sight of all those exemplary students. Too exemplary, I thought. A black girl nearby caught my attention, something flickering in her eyes that didn't match her placid expression. Back in my dorm room, I reached for my music player to unwind, but my roommate practically lunged at me to stop it. Music was forbidden here, she explained with an eerie smile that made my skin crawl. The next morning in the cafeteria, something struck me as deeply wrong. Every single student had the exact same haircut. While I was puzzling over this disturbing uniformity, I decided to explore the other buildings. That's when the intercom crackled to life, summoning me to the principal's office. A bald teacher was waiting with a measuring tape, wrapping it around my head. "For a haircut," he explained. My instincts screamed that something sinister was happening here, though I couldn't piece together what. That night, I slipped out of bed, determined to escape this nightmare of a school. The moment I stepped outside my dorm, the girl from earlier materialized from the shadows, nearly giving me a heart attack. But Lisa, as she introduced herself, seemed to be the only person here who hadn't been brainwashed. She led me to her room and revealed she knew a way out. We crawled through a massive ventilation shaft she'd somehow managed to unlock, moving carefully through the metallic tunnel. What we found below defied belief: a laboratory. Through the grate, I watched in horror as they strapped a new girl to a chair, a bizarre glass dome descending over her head. The bald barber pressed a button, and her screams echoed through the chamber. Within moments, the transformation was complete. Another perfectly obedient student manufactured. My hand accidentally knocked a screw loose and it clattered below. The principal's head snapped up, her eyes scanning the ceiling. We scrambled back through the vents, my heart pounding. I couldn't understand why Lisa stayed if she knew the escape route. Her sister was still trapped here, she explained. She wouldn't leave without her. The next day, I put our plan into action. I gave my roommate the music player and watched as her fingers moved against her will to press play. The moment the music filled the air, she clutched her head in agony. Then suddenly, clarity returned to her eyes. I quickly explained everything while she struggled to process the truth. Then I marched straight to the principal's office, taunting her until she grabbed me, dragging me toward the laboratory. She'd figured out I was last night's intruder. Meanwhile, my roommate slipped into the abandoned office and hijacked the PA system, flooding the entire campus with music. The effect was instantaneous. All across the school, students snapped out of their programmed stupor, confusion giving way to anger and fear. Together we stormed out of that place, finally free from whatever twisted experiment they'd been conducting on us.